Ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony is going to start in 3 minutes. Please be seated. Before we begin, I would like to take a few moments to explain the rules for today's webinar. First, please make sure your cell phones are on silent mode or switch off so we don't disturb the speakers and other participants. The second, we encourage you all to participate in the discussion and ask questions related to the webinar topic during the Q&A session at the end of each session. Please make sure you keep your question brief and to the point to allow for a productive session. The third, we request our participant to refrain from any side conversation during the webinar as it can be distracting for the other participant. We hope that you will adhere to these rules and participate fully in the webinar. And for the participant who cannot join the Zoom, you can watch this webinar through YouTube account at HATHI Pusat. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment together and send our blessed prayer to almarhum Bapak Suparmono, the former of Chairman HATHI in 1995 until 1998. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let's begin the webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sandro, the MC for this event. On behalf of the organizing committee, we extend our appreciation for your presence today. Excellency, Minister of Public Works, Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Dodi Hanggodo. Respectable Director General of Water Resources, Ministry of Public Works, Republic of Indonesia, Mrs. Lili Retno Cahyadi Ningsih. Chairman of HATHI, Mr. Bob Arthur Lombogia. General Secretary of HATHI, Mr. Ade Rijaldi. Head of Committee of HATHI Webinar, Mr. Muhammad Rizal. Speakers, Professor Chen Yangbo from Sun Yat-sen University, China. Professor Marlinda Abdul Malik from University Teknologi Malaysia. Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi from Bandung Institute of Technology. Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif from University of Gadjah Mada. Moderator, Profesor Robertus Wayudi Triweko from Pariangan Catholic University. Members of HATHI, water practitioners, observers, academics, and all participants. Welcome to the HATHI webinar. The main topic of today's webinar is optimizing artificial intelligence or AI to achieve self-sufficiency in food, water, and sustainable energy. This webinar brings together water practitioners, observers, and academics who are responsible for delivering sustainable solutions on self-sufficiency in food, water, and sustainable energy. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read the main agendas for today. The first agenda is speech and opening remarks, and the second agenda are presentation and panel discussion, announcement, and continue by closing remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to start this webinar, let's sing the national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and follow by singing Mars HATHI. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please stand up.
Indonesia
Dear ladies and gentlemen, please sit. Distinguished guest participant, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this webinar with a prayer led by Ustadz Miftah Fauji from BPDI, Ministry of Public Works, Republik Indonesia. To Ustadz Miftah Fauji, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bapak Ibu yang berbahagia, sejenak bersama-sama kita menundukkan kepala dan bermunajat kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Semoga kegiatan webinar internasional dalam rangka hari ulang tahun HATI tahun 2025 pada hari ini diberkahi dan diberikan kelancaran dan manfaat untuk kita semua. Izinkan saya pandu doa ini dalam tuntunan agama Islam. Bapak Ibu sekalian mohon untuk menyesuaikan dengan kepercayaan dan keyakinannya masing-masing. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma ya Allah ya Rahman ya Rahim, kami hadapkan hati dan jiwa kami ke hadapan-Mu ya Allah untuk memohon pertolongan dan ridha-Mu. Pada kesempatan ini berkat izin-Mu kami hadir di tempat ini dalam acara webinar internasional dalam rangka hari ulang tahun HATI tahun 2025. Besar harapan kami ya Allah dan dambaan kami, kiranya barokah dan ridha-Mu senantiasa menyertai setiap langkah dan program kerja kami. Semoga apa yang kami laksanakan pada hari ini dicatat menjadi amal ibadah di sisi-Mu. Ya Allah, ya Hadi, Engkaulah Sang Maha Pemberi petunjuk. Jadikanlah kegiatan ini sebagai penyemangat, sebagai pembangkit dan penyegar, pengunggah semangat kami dalam meningkatkan kualitas ilmu kami. Melalui webinar ini, mampukan kami dalam mengoptimalkan penggunaan AI dalam mendukung pencapaian swasembada pangan, air dan energi berkelanjutan. Mampukan kami ya Allah dapat bekerja secara profesional, proporsional dengan baik sebagai tanda syukur kami dan penghambaan kami kepadamu ya Allah. Ya Allah, ya Wahhab, Tuhan yang Maha Pemberi, bukakanlah bagi kami pintu-pintu anugerah-Mu. Hindarkan kami dari segala bentuk musibah dan malapetaka. Jadikan negara kami ini sebagai negara yang baldatun thayyibatun wa rabbun ghafur. Ya Allah, jadikan pula syukur sebagai sifat kami tatkala kami diliputi oleh anugerah-Mu, dan jadikan sabar sebagai sifat kami ketika kami mendapatkan ujian-Mu. Karena sesungguhnya kesyukuran dan kesabaran ya Allah adalah tanda-tanda orang yang beriman. Ya Allah, perkenankanlah permohonan doa dan doa kami ini. Sesungguhnya Engkau Maha mendengar lagi Maha mengetahui. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, step on to the following agendas is speech delivered by Head of Committee of HATI Webinar, Mr. Muhammad Rizal. To Mr. Muhammad Rizal, time is yours.
The Honorable Director General of Water Resources, Ministry of Public Works, Mrs. Ili Retno Cahyadiningsih, Chairman of HATI, Mr. Bob Arthur Lombogia, Secretary General of HATI, Mr. Muhammad Ade Rizaldi. Our speakers for today webinar, Professor Chen Yangbo from Sun Yat-sen University, Professor Marlinda Abdul Malik from University Teknologi Malaysia, Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif from Gajah Mada University, Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi from Bandung Institute of Technology. The moderator, Professor Robertus Wahyudi Triweko from Parahyangan Catholic University. Members of HATHI, water practitioners, observers, academics, distinguished participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning and welcome to this knowledge sharing session of the international webinar in celebrating HATHI's 44th anniversary. First, let us thank to the presence of Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who always bestows His blessings and mercy on all of us so that we can be together in a good health to participate in this activity together. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my gratitude to the moderator and all speakers for taking part in this event, as well as giving my appreciation to the distinguished participants who are able to attend online today.
To this knowledge sharing.
We hope that we are always protected by God and given health and strength. Amen. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the new President administration has goals astacita to manifest Indonesia achieve food security, agriculture land optimization, and water supply, which are required in accordance with the challenges of the era and the aging of irrigation infrastructures. In the past few years, the improvement of irrigation system has been made, requiring accelerated field implementation and the application of the latest technology that is fastly developing. Big data analysis, machine learning approach, deep learning, and artificial intelligence are tools that can enhance field analysis and assist in decision making. The urban challenges in climate change, such as seasonal shifting and uneven precipitation distributions, are both climate-related phenomena that can affect agriculture patterns and allocation of water irrigation distribution system. To accelerate the implementation of AI in water resources management and enhancing sustainable development, the knowledge sharing activity with academics as an education platform of international webinar on the 44th HATHI anniversary. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of the knowledge sharing is to increase participants' insight and knowledge and serve as a platform for presenters to disseminate experiences, problem solving, and research aids in the scope of discussions on the latest developments regarding optimization of AI in water resources practices. These knowledge sharing activities invites multidisciplinary parties such as officials, government, engineers, and academics in Indonesia as international panelists, with a focus on those practically involved in water resources who are expected to be able to exchange ideas and discuss directly, so that this knowledge sharing effort is in line with the goals, the planned output and outcomes. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the committee, we would like to thank all parties, especially the members of the committee who have organized this event and facilitate the seamless running of this event. Lastly, we hope you enjoy attending our event and hopefully we will have a fruitful discussions. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Rizal, as the head of Committee of HATI webinar for the speech. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to have the chairman of HATI, Mr. Bob Arthur Lombogia, to deliver the opening remarks. And afterward, we would like to request Mr. Bob Arthur Lombogia to officially open HATI webinar. To Mr. Bob Arthur Lombogia, time is yours.
Baik, terima kasih. Sebelum saya menyampaikan speech saya ingin saya atas nama HATI seluruh Indonesia mengucapkan turut berduka cita atas meninggalnya senior kita, Bapak Suparmono. Selanjutnya kami ingin informasikan bahwa seyogyanya acara ini kita lakukan secara langsung di Jakarta, namun berbagai pertimbangan dan kami diskusikan dengan Ibu Dirjen, acara ini kami putuskan untuk dilaksanakan secara webinar. Tapi saya bersyukur karena acara ini cukup banyak, ini sudah hampir 1.000 peserta yang mengikuti webinar internasional ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Yang kami hormati Ibu Direktur Jenderal Sumber Daya Air, Ibu Lilit Retno, yang saya dengar informasi ikut lewat webinar. Kemudian yang saya hormati Sekretaris Umum HATI, Bapak Ade Risaldi, Bendahara Umum, Bapak Dodi, kemudian yang kami hormati Pak Rizal sebagai promotor acara ini, kemudian para pengurus HATI pusat maupun HATI cabang di seluruh Indonesia. The honorable speakers, Professor Chen Yang-bo of Sun Yat-sen University, Professor Malinda binti Abdul Malik of University Tenaga Nasional, Professor Ridwan Sutardi of Institut Teknologi Bandung, Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif of Universitas Gadjah Mada, the moderator, Profesor Robertus Wahyudi Triweko of Universitas Katolik Parahyangan, members of HATI, water practitioners, observers, academics, and distinguished participants. It is an honor for me to speak before you and welcome you to this knowledge sharing session of International Webinar in celebrating HATI's 44th anniversary, in which I'm going to give you a keynote speech regarding today's topic, optimizing artificial intelligence or AI to achieve self-sufficiency in food, water, and sustainable energy. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to reach Golden Indonesia 2025, we aim to be a country that is sovereign and developed through the 8 main goals of Astacita. One of them is to attain sustainability on food and water supply. In achieving Golden Indonesia 2045, we have several challenges and water resources management issues to overcome. That is, by 2045, the global landscape will shift dramatically. Technological advancement will replace 40% of existing jobs, and climate change will further intensity competition for natural resources. These trends demand a smarter, data-driven approach to managing water resources artificial intelligence stand at the forefront of this transformation. Meanwhile, Indonesia will continue to experience water resources management issues such as 1. Water scarcity due to extreme dry season. 2. Frequent floods hitting major cities and causing flash floods in upstream areas. 3. Inefficient irrigation with 46% of irrigated areas in poor condition. 4. Raw water surface capacity covers only 68.60% of the population. And 5. Land subsidence in major cities such as Jakarta, Semarang, Cirebon, and Surabaya. Following the improvement of irrigation system in the past few years, it is time to incorporate the latest technology available to optimize water usage and increase food production using the help of AI. Nowadays, artificial intelligence or AI is is a tool to help us solve problems in various disciplines, including water-related issues. For example, AI methods such as deep learning and decision trees can process real-time weather data and generate prediction, helping us to manage water resources more effectively and efficiently. In countries like Indonesia, where population continues to grow, all-driven solutions are increasingly important. Combined with the limited resources necessary for life, such as food and water, we must think outside of the box and how to manage these resources. With the help of AI and sustainable practices, we can find breakthroughs in food production methods, water utilization, and energy conservation. The application of AI in water resources management yields critical output such as 1. Prediction, forecasting potential water shortage, floods, and other environment risks. 2. Decision recommendation, providing data-driven, suggesting for policy and operational improvement. 3. Decision making, automating critical decisions based on real-time analytics. And 4. Automation, enhancing the efficiency of water distribution, infrastructure maintenance, and disaster response. Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence in water resources can be used in 1. Survey data optimization, 2. Collaboration and enhancement and real-time communication. 3. Integration with BIM or Building Information Modeling. 4. Health, Safety, and Environment Monitoring or K3. 5. Prediction of infrastructure maintenance. 6. Prediction of risk and structured performance. 7. Smart irrigation systems. 8. Drought prediction and water allocation. And 9. Mitigation and prediction of flooding. Distinguished guests, this integration of AI in water resources management presents significant opportunities, including 1. AI analyze the water usage and optimize distribution and minimize the losses. 2. Satellite imagery technology and data analysis can monitor water pollution and detect changes in water quality. 3. AI can analyze weather data and predict the probable floods and droughts. thereby assisting in water resources management. And four, AI can help develop more efficient and effective water resources management system. Despite all the benefit of utilizing AI, we must also recognize the challenges of using AI, which are: one, data limitation in water usage and quality can restrict AI ability to analyze and optimize water resources use. Two, the dependency of AI technology can restrict human abilities to manually managing water resources. Three, implementation costs of AI technology can be an obstacle for a few non-profit organizations or institutions that have budget limitation. Four, the need for skilled human resources to operate the managed AI technology can be challenged for some organizations or institutions. Before we start the seminar, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to all of the speakers who are willing to spare their precious time to enlighten us with their vast knowledge on AI integration into various food and water related matters. Thank you very much, Professor Chen Yang Bu, Professor Malinda binti Abdul Malik, Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi, Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif, and the moderator, Professor Robertus Wahyudi Triweko, for being here. We are looking forward to hearing about your insightful experiences. In the light of Hathi's 44th anniversary, let us all embrace that newest and advanced technology through various research and implementation that has been shared by our speakers. Since water resources in Indonesia are vast and critical national development, with 128 watersheds spread across under the administration of the Ministry of Public Works. It is my biggest wish that we would be able to efficiently manage and resources that requires innovation, collaboration, and advanced technologies such as AI. We need to remember that AI is not a replacement for engineers and experts, but rather a tool to enhance our capabilities. By integrating AI with human expertise, we can create a more resilient, efficient, and sustainable water management system. With the proper and efficient measures, AI would be a very powerful tool for us to strive toward a future where technology and human ingenuity drive Indonesia towards the Golden Indonesia 2045. Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om.
Thank you, Mr. Bob Arthur Lomogia, as Chairman of HATHI, for the speech and officially open HATHI webinar. Distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, before going to the next agenda, we would like to have a photo session first. To all participants, please turn the camera on. Once again, we would like to have a photo session first. To all participants, please turn the camera on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we start the photo session for the first slide. In 3, 2, 1. Next slide. 3, 2, 1. Next slide. 3, 2, 1. Once again to all the participants, please turn the camera on. And next slide. 3, 2, 1. 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 Once again to all participants, please turn the camera on because we have photo session. Okay. Next slide. 3, 2, 1. 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 Okay, and the last slide. 3, 2, 1. Thank you for the participation from ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to our main agenda, the presentation session. All presentation and panel discussion will be moderated by Professor Robertus Wayudi Triweko. Professor Robertus Wayudi Triweko was graduated from Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in Water Resources Planning and Management, Colorado State University, USA. Currently, he is a professor in Water Resources Engineering at Pariangan Catholic University. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our moderator, Professor Robertus Wayudi Triweko.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to international webinar host by HATHI today. Water is the most valuable natural resources that plays a critical role in socio-economic development worldwide. Population growth in many different countries, coupled with the predicted climate change, induced impact warrants the need for the proactive and effective management of water resources. The scope of water resources management is very broad, starting from policies and strategies at the national level, water allocation at the river basin level, as well as water services at the city or irrigation area level. The development of information technology has a significant influence on the management of water resources, both in terms of water resources conservation, water resources utilization, and controlling the destructive power of water. Numerical modeling and computer application in water resources had been initiated in 1980s, which continues with the development of decision support system or DSS and geographical information system or GIS in 1990s, and after that artificial neural network was also introduced. Meanwhile, the internet network allows the development of water resources information system that involves various institutions as sources of data and information. Over the last decades, artificial intelligence or AI have been widely applied to various water resources management and have shown promising results. Understanding the latest development related to the application of information technology in water resources management is a must if we do not want to be left behind in this changing era. Therefore, in celebrating its 44th anniversary of the Indonesian Association of Hydraulic Engineers, HATHI is organizing a webinar with a theme, Optimization of Artificial Intelligence for Food, Energy Security, and Sustainable Development. This theme will cover many different aspects of water resources management, which includes flood forecasting, rainfall runoff modeling, irrigation management, and sustainable city development. Before we start, may I introduce the speakers and the title of their presentation. The first speaker is Professor Yang Bu Chen. His educational background, he got a PhD in Hydrology and Water Resources from Wuhan University, Master of Science in Hydrology and Water Resources also from Wuhan University, and Bachelor Engineering in Power Engineering from Wuhan University. Present position of Professor Yang Bu Chen is Director, Research Group and Smart Flood Mitigation and Big Data of Sun Yat-sen University. He also Chief Scientist of ESCAP and WMO Typhoon Committee Project. He also past President of the International Commission on Remote Sensing of IAHS. His research interest is in flood forecasting and mitigation, hydrological model, dual impact of climate change and urbanization on water resources, remote sensing, hydrology, and water resources management. Today, he will present flood forecast by integrating remote sensing, AI, and distributed hydrological model. The second presenter will be Professor Marlinda binti Abdul Malik. Her education background is Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering from University Technology Malaysia in Johor, Malaysia. And she got Master of Science in Water Resources Engineering from University of East London, United Kingdom, and PhD in Water Resources Engineering from University Technology Malaysia. Her present position is as a professor and also member management and land development committee, Office of Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, UTM in Johor, Malaysia. Current main research areas in water resources engineering, especially in hydrology, fluid mechanics, and coastal engineering. Also in modeling, which includes statistics, artificial intelligence, hydro-atmospheric climate modeling, and also in climate change related to greenhouse gas emission, vulnerability, adaptation, mitigation, water footprint, and sustainable urban cities. Today, she will present a paper with the title AI for Rainfall, Satellite and Downscaling Runoff Modeling at Kenyir Dam, Malaysia. The third speaker will be Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif. His education background, he got a bachelor degree in agricultural mechanization from Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta, Master of Engineering in Water Resources Engineering from Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, Thailand, and PhD in Agricultural Engineering from CLSU, Philippines. Current position as Emeritus Professor in Gajah Mada University. His main research areas is modernization of irrigation in Indonesia. And the title of presentation for today is Artificial Intelligence and Quick Decision Making for Irrigation Management and Increasing Agricultural Production. And the fourth presenter today is Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi. His education background from ITB Bandung, Indonesia for bachelor degree, the master degree also from ITB in Bandung, and his PhD from the University of Florida, USA. His present position is professor in School of Architecture, Planning and Policy Development, and also Director of Non-Regular Education of ITB and Secretary of Commission 1 of the ITB Professor Forum on Noble Values. His main research interest is smart sustainable cities, especially communicative cities toward knowledge cities in the digital era. Today, he will present a paper with a title, Utilization of Artificial Intelligence in Sustainable City Development. We will start this webinar with presentation from the panelists. The time allocation for each speaker is 20 minutes. I will remind the speaker in 2 until 3 minutes before the time runs out. We will have a discussion session after the presentation of the 4 panelists completed. During the presentation, may I invite you to raise questions or comments by writing it down in the chat room. If you want to ask a question directly, please give a raise hand sign. In order to use time effectively, I would like to invite the first speaker, Professor Chen Yangbu, to deliver his presentation. Professor Chen, the time is yours. So the first presentation will be delivered by Professor Yang Bu Chen from Sun Yat-sen University. With the title, What Progress by Integrating Remote Sensing, AI, and Distributed Hydrological Model. Professor Chen, are you still connected? Telepon. Itu si YB itu siapa? Oh. Yang kedua. It seems that there is a connection problem with Professor Yang Bu Chen. May I invite the second speaker, Professor Marlinda binti Abdul Malik, to present your presentation with the title AI for Rainfall, Satellite and Downscaling Runoff Modeling at Kenjir Dam. Professor Marlinda, the time is yours.
Run off.
Siapa nih? Siapa? Bu Marlinda. Professor Marlinda, we will have a little bit changes in the session. So I will invite Professor Marlinda binti Abdul Malik to present the paper with the title of presentation, AI for Rainfall, Satellite and Downscaling, Runoff Modeling at Kenjir Dam. Professor Marlinda, the time is yours. Di unmute dari sini.
Masih mute.
Professor Marlinda, maybe you need to unmute the speaker, the mic.
Stay mute. No problem.
Assalamualaikum, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Please continue.
Clear.
Okay, so you can hear me, right? Thank you. Then I can proceed with the presentation. Assalamualaikum. All of you can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Right. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me to give a talk this morning. So I am Marlinda from the Civil Engineering Department, University Tenaga Nasional, and I'm going to talk something on the rainfall runoff model into Kenyir Dam, using AI for forecasting in the future. And the rainfall data is used from data from satellite and downscaling method. Okay, next please. This is the table of contents, which will start with research background, problem statement, the objectives, up to conclusion, and the list of applications. Thank you. Next. Okay, the research background. If you have a look, that is the study area, which is in Terengganu, and the Kenyir Dam is the one indicated in the blue. That it is in the rural part of Terengganu, and Terengganu is located in the east of Peninsular Malaysia. Now, we know that rainfall is an important part of water cycle and is responsible for most of our fresh water. Now, this particular study area, which is at the Kenyir Dam, is a hydropower station, i.e. generates hydropower electricity for the whole of Peninsular Malaysia, and the name is Sultan Mahmud Hydropower Station. Okay, it is one of the major hydropower plants. It is a multi-purpose hydropower plant located at Hulu Terengganu on east coast of Malaysia. The Kenyir Dam was created impounding Terengganu River at 15 km west of Kuala Berang and 15 km upstream of Kuala Terengganu. This is a huge hydropower dam. Okay, next please. The problem statement. Okay, the amount of water flowing into Kenyir Dam is important in order to generate sufficient electricity capacity for this particular hydropower station. And ground rain gauges as the measuring tools. And the constraint is there's not many of these ground gauges, rain gauge, in this particular hydropower plant. And in this study, due to that, the atmospheric rainfall that we use in the study is on GCM, Global Climate Model, and SDSM, which is the Statistical Downscaling Model, and also data from rainfall data from satellite, which is the TRMM satellite, which is Tropical Rainfall Mean Tropical Rainfall Measurement Mission. Right. So these two methods are introduced in order to allow continuous rainfall data into this rainfall runoff model due to the scarcity of rainfall data within the Canadian. Now, I believe this is not only for the case of Malaysia, so does other hydropower plants in other developing countries and the third world. So based on this data exploration conducted, due to the limited of ground rain gauge that's set up before the construction of the dam, during the construction of the dam, and after the construction of the dam. Okay, continue please. Okay, now the research gap. Now, because of lack of technical knowledge on hydrological regime on ungauged catchment, this particular dam is considered an ungauged. So we have come up with a few methods on ungauged methods introduced in this study. Next, please. The river flow. Okay. The limited stations on rainfall and river flow on this ungauged catchment. So on the solution is we use data obtained from satellite technology as an alternative input to the rainfall runoff model. Usage of satellite data to solve issues on insufficient data and ungauged catchment. And we also use the AI technique. In this case, we use the hybrid of cuckoo search and artificial neural network to predict future river flow into this particular hydropower dam. Next, please. The objectives, we have three objectives. One, to produce a continuous rainfall data for the study area during the construction of the dam, before the construction of the dam, during and after the construction of the dam. Then we simulate the rainfall runoff model. Then we proceed to future prediction of future river water flowing into the Canadian using AI technique, because it is very pertinent for the owner of the hydropower plant to know the amount of water to be used in order to generate future electricity in this area. Next, please. Okay, this is some literature review on the ungauged method that we use. Since, as I mentioned earlier, this particular rural area has scarcity of ground rainfall data, ground rainfall apparatus. Next, please. Okay, these are some methods that have been used for ungauged method. Next, please. In other countries that have been using Morocco, India for ungauged method that we referred to. Next, please. In India, Malaysia as well. Next, please. Okay, in terms of literature review on the satellite application that we use in this data. Next, please. These are some of the satellite data that satellite technique that have been that used similar to the study. In this case, is the TRMM technique. Malaysia, Myanmar. Next, please. Europe, Turkey. Next, please. USA, okay, in terms of the statistical downscaling model that we use, in this case is the SDSM model. Next, please. These are the literature review that has been using SDSM and GIS at the same time, Malaysia, India. Next, please. Malaysia and Canada. Next, please. Okay, in terms of AI that we use in this method. Next. The particular method that we use has been done in Ecuador, China, Algeria. Next, please. Brazil, China, Iran, Turkey. Next. Okay, in terms of hybrid of cuckoo search and neural network. Next, please. The same method has been done in Iran, Egypt. Next, please. USA, Iran. Next. Right, this is the methodology that has been conducted in order to conduct the study. So we have the literature review, data exploration, rainfall data generation in order to achieve objective 1, rainfall runoff model, to achieve objective 2, and runoff prediction model development for objective 3 and the findings. Next. Okay, in terms of rainfall data generation. Next. The study was conducted before the construction of the hydropower dam, during the construction and after the construction of the dam. So before construction of the hydropower dam in year 71 to 79, we used the GCM, Global Climate Model, and the SDSM, Statistical Downscaling Method, in order to come up with the rainfall and is being validated by the ground rainfall, and in this case the ground rainfall is an ungauged method. During the construction of the hydropower dam, which is in 1980 to 83 and 84 to 86, same goes, we use the GCM and SDSM method. Up to 80 to 83, we can validate with the ungauged ground rainfall, but in 84, since we have actually planted those rain gauge on the ground, so starting from 84 and onwards, we can actually validate with the ground rain gauge. Right, then after the construction of the hydropower dam, 87 to 2017, the rainfall we still use from GCM and SDSM, but now we validate with the actual ground rainfall apparatus. Right, next please. Okay, this is again the location of the study area in Terengganu. We use the IDW technique, i.e. inverse distance weighted technique, in providing continuous ground rainfall data before, during and after construction of the hydropower dam. Now, if you know about this IDW method, it's one of the most famous interpolation method. It is available in any GIS software. Next, please. Right, this is the methodology on the statistical downscaling method in order to obtain the rainfall. These are the flowchart. Okay, next please. These are some theory about the statistical downscaling method. Right, and the formulas. Next please. Same goes again. This is some theory on the SDSM statistical downscaling method. Next please. Right, again some theory. Next. Right, so if you have come across this statistical downscaling method, this is how the main menu looks like, the settings screen and the advanced settings screen. Next please. Quality control screen, the screen variable, transform variable screen. Next please. Again, this is the calibrate model screen, weather generator screen and the scenario generator screen. Next please. Right, so this is the comparison of the result on the screen using the NCEP and GCM predictor variables. In this case, the NCEP stands for National Center for Environmental Prediction. It is part of a national weather service by the United States government. Next please. Okay, in terms of the satellite technique that we use, TRMM stands for Tropical Rainfall Measurement Mission. The version that we use is 3B42-V7. It's a data set obtained from Giovanni Data website. This is how our boundary looks like. The interval is at 0.27 degree, 0.25 degree times 0.25 degree, approximately around 27.8 kilometer to 27.8 kilometer spatial resolution. At this particular year, this is the limit of TRM method on this particular spatial resolution, and the boundaries is within 19 years, duration 1998 to 2017. Next please. Right, in terms of the objective 2, the rainfall runoff model. Next. Preparation of the catchment hydrological characteristics, we use the DEM, raw digital elevation model. Then we proceed with the watershed and stream network delineation using GIS hydro tools. Inside that, we have the hydro DFM, flow direction grid, flow accumulation grid, stream grid, and catchment grid. Okay, proceed next. Right, in terms of the flow chart on the rainfall runner modeling from the area reduction method, area reduction factor, up to rainfall runoff relationship, up to temporal distribution, time distribution, cloud parameter determination, and design base flow, and we end up using HMS. Next please. Okay, the methodology on rainfall runoff calculation, those who are in hydrology are familiar with this. These are some of the theory used. Next please. rainfall runoff parameters. Same goes with the flow chart. Determine the catchment area, weighted stream slope, main river length, estimate the desired rainfall with the return period, find ARF, determine region from the rainfall temporal pattern. We base on hydrological procedure number 1. We determine the total rainfall and we proceed with HHMS. Proceed next. Okay, in terms of objective 3, runoff prediction model development. Next. Here we use the AI. Based on this flowchart, from data aspiration, the training is at 70% from year 71 to 2003. The testing data is on 30%, year 2004 to 2017. So we divide into two. One is on the rainfall, one is on the river flow. And we proceed with a hybrid of cuckoo search and neural network validation, and we do the validation in terms of comparison with standalone neural network predictions, statistical tests, graphical presentation, and we predict for the next 10 years. Next, please. Right. These are some theory about artificial neural network on the input data, hidden layers, and output data. Next, please. Again, these are some theory on neural network parameters: input, hidden layer, learning rate, initial weight, stopping criteria, active return function, data partition. Next, please. Again, some of the theory on artificial neural network. Next, please. Okay, some theory. Next, please. This is on data pre-processing, some of the theory on the formulas used. Next, please. Okay, now we proceed with the cuckoo search algorithm developed in year 2009, which is inspired based on the life of a bird called cuckoo. It has the strongest evolutionary optimization, and cuckoo search algorithm represent a powerful population based on stochastic approach. Okay, next, please. This is the flowchart on how we conduct the hybrid between cuckoo search and neural network. Right, we use our own coding here. Next, please. Right, these are some details flowchart on how to generate the population on and host nest and so on. Next, please. Okay, some statistical tests that we use are squared RMSE. Next, please. Okay, let's look at the result. Now, rainfall data generated. Next, please. Okay, this is the rainfall data used to validate the rainfall that we obtain from the statistical downscaling and the satellite method. Right, this is for before Kenyir Dam was constructed, during the construction of the hydropower plant, and after the construction of the power plant. So this is the look of the rainfall from year 71 up to 2017. Next, please. Data from the statistical downscaling and satellite, which we validate with the ground rainfall. And in this case, as I mentioned earlier, the ground rainfall is on ungauged method. We got the R squared, which is not really that good, 0.5 and 0.6, and the RMSE value. Next, please. In terms of graphical presentation, now if you look, the blue is the ground rainfall, i.e. from the ungauged method. I think it looks like orange, yellow. This is the rainfall obtained from the statistical downscaling method, which you can see it follows the pattern of the ground rainfall accurately. It's just that some of the peak values are not being attained. And the gray line is the rainfall data obtained from the satellite method that we use, the RMM. And again, if you look, the rainfall data obtained from the satellite technique also follow accurately the pattern of the ground rainfall. It does reach some of the peak as well. So this is before the construction of the dam, during construction of the hydropower dam, and after the construction of the hydropower plant. Now, the reason we divide the study into before, during, and after is because the owner of the hydropower plant, in this case it's TNB, they wanted to see the trend difference between before construction of the dam and after construction of the dam. They want to see the pattern of the rainfall, and they want to see the flow of the rainfall before, during, and after the dam construction. Next, please. This is the monthly rainfall before the construction of the dam, year 70 to 79. The ground rainfall, which is from the ungauged method, and the statistical rainfall, the rainfall from the statistical downscaling method. It does follow the trend. Some of the peaks are not attained. Next, please. This is during the construction of the hydropower plant, the rainfall from the statistical downscaling method compared to the ground rainfall. Next, please. Okay, this is how it looks like after the construction of the dam. The rainfall from the statistical downscaling method compared with the ground rainfall. If you notice, some of the peaks are not attained, but generally the patterns are attained. Next, please. Right, this is the overall study on the monthly rainfall from statistical downscaling method. You can see it does not reach some of the peaks from 1971 up to 1997. Next, please. Right, in terms of rainfall from satellite. Okay. After Canadian, can we go to before? The slide before this. Oh, okay. So this is how it looks like. Is this after? Yeah. After the construction of the dam. 1980s. Monthly. This is statistical downscaling method. Next, please. Let's look at the satellite data. Right. This is the rainfall from satellite technique obtained. The one in yellow compared to the blue, the ground rainfall. After Kenyah Dam construction, the ground rainfall obtained is from the ground rainfall apparatus. Right, so you can see the pattern, the trend is there. Some of the peaks are not attained. Next, please. Okay, results. Next, please. Okay, in terms of river flow, we generate the river flow from the atmospheric rainfall. In this case, the rainfall is from two sources, from the statistical downscaling method and from the satellite technique. The flow data generated are validated with river flow generated from the ground rainfall stations. And the validation is again 3 stages: before the dam construction, during and after the dam construction. Next, please. Okay, now we're talking about river flow. The river flow generated from the atmospheric rainfall, which is from the statistical method and the satellite, are validated with the ground river flow measured on the ground. Before the dam construction, ASCAP was 0.7. During construction of the hydropower dam is 0.9, and after the construction, the ASCAP is 0.8. Next, please.
Professor Marilinda,
validation of river data graphical presentation. Now, this is the summary. Before the construction of the hydropower dam, 71 to 79, the blue line is the river flow. The flow of the river flowing into the Kenyah Dam, generated from the ground rainfall. The green line is the river flow generated from, in this case, the atmospheric rainfall is both the statistical downscaling and satellite. So you look at before the hydropower plant is constructed, the trend is there, but it does not reach the peak. During the construction of the dam, the comparison between the river flow from the ground rainfall and from the atmospheric rainfall reaches the peak. And after the construction of the dam, which is 87 to 2017, you can see both river flow generated has the same trend, more or less, and it does meet some of the peaks. Right, and from here, 2017 and onwards, we start doing using AI to forecast, predict the river water flowing into the hydropower dam. Next, please. Right. This is a validation of river flow before construction of the hydropower dam. You can see between 73 to 77, the river flow from the atmospheric rainfall does not reach the peak. Next, please. This is validation of river flow during the construction of the hydropower dam. This is very good in terms of the trend and in terms of the peak. Right, next please. After the construction of the dam, the balls are generated river flow from the ground rainfall and the atmospheric rainfall has the same trend, and it also reached almost most of the peaks. Right, so with this confidence, we proceed to predict in the future. Next, please. Right, a runoff prediction model development. Next. We use the neural network, and in this case, epoch, the iteration is 1000, hidden layer is 1, elapsed time is 32. This is the value of the RMSE during training and testing, and the R squared during training and testing. Okay, next, please. Some of the data on the RMSE and the iteration. Next, please. Right, let's look at the result now. The red line is the predicted river flow, i.e. in this case we predict the flow of the river into the hydropower dam using hybrid of focus search and neural network, compare with the river flow measured on the ground, which is the blue. This is during training stage, during testing stage, and the result is the prediction. This is how it looks like from 2018 to 2027. Now, this data, 2018 to 2027, is very important for the operator of the hydropower plant in order to estimate how much electricity will be generated based on this river flow that we predicted. Next, please. Right, this I think this is just now the same thing. Next, please. Next. Okay, this is on the population size when we run the hybrid AI. Next, please. Prediction of the graphical comparison between river flow generated from ground river flow station and the predicted river flow using the hybrid focus search and ANN. This is how it looks like. Next, please. Right, summary of prediction model. So, using a neural network standalone, this is the R squared during training and testing, and when we hybrid neural network with focus search, the training and testing, the R squared during training and testing enhanced. Next, please. Right, so the conclusion, these are some of the R squared that we obtained in terms of rainfall during, before, during, and after the construction of the hydropower dam. Then, the second item, the first item is on the rainfall data. The second item is on the river flow data. This is the R squared that we obtained before, during, and after the construction of the hydropower dam. So the third point is to state that we can reliably prove that the method that we use in this case for the rainfall data as well as the river flow data, based on the statistical and the satellite technique, are reliable for us to predict the future river flow into the dam, and of course we end up into how much electricity that we will produce in the future. Next, please. Right, significant of the study, the use of GCM, a global climate model, SDSM, statistical downscaling model, and the TRMM, tropical rainfall measurement mission technique satellite in the preparation of the rainfall data for the case of before the dam was constructed, during the hydropower dam construction, and after the dam construction. Now this is very important because the owner of the power plant wanted to see the ecology changes, changes on rainfall and river flow due to the construction of the hydropower plant, because environmentalists whole world is questioning whether the degree of the hydropower plant being constructed is damaging to the ecosystem, i.e. in this case our river flow. Right, then enhancement of river flow prediction using the hybrid AI method compared to a standalone neural network, and knowledge of future water availability on the dam is pertinent. On the sustainability of hydropower generation for this particular Sultan Mahmud hydropower plant, and the findings of this study will definitely effective for the planning and management of water resources, planning and management of the electricity generation itself. Next, please. Right, for future or proposed recommendation work, of course, we propose more ground rainfall apparatus to be planted on the ground, especially during a rural area in this hydropower dam, and we need additional meteorological and physical ground parameters as well. Example, ground pressure, temperature, humidity, and so on. Of course, in Malaysia, I think as well as other developing countries, these are some of our constraints, especially if it's in a rural area, in a rural, in a hydropower dam location. Right, next please. Okay, these are some of the list of publications. Next please. Some of the reference. Next. Some of the references. Next please. Next and next. Right, so thank you very much for your patience and for your listening. If you have any further question, please welcome. I will welcome your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your extensive sharing, Professor Marlinda.
So I end my presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And for the application of AI's application for rainfall runoff modeling to overcome limited ground station rainfall data, especially at the Kenyir Dam. We will have a discussion, but after finishing the presentation of the four panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, can we beg to Professor Chang Yang-Bu Chen to present his paper. Professor Chen, are you ready to present your paper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will first share my
presentation will be from Professor Yang-Bu Chen, and the title of the presentation, Flood Forecast by Integrating Remote Sensing, AI and Distributed Hydrological Model. Professor Chen, the time is yours.
Okay. So, this time I cannot share the PPT. So the previous one is closed. Okay, Professor?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong. This morning Sam's doesn't work here. So, may you can share my presentation from your side? My talk today will cover several parts, including introduction, distributed hydrological model, remote sensing, data, AI for parameter optimization, flood forecast application, and finally conclusion. Please next. So first, the introduction. As all of us can know that due to the joint impact of climate change and human activities, the world has observed more flooding, thus causing more damages. This is particularly true in China. We have observed serious flooding almost every year.
For example, the one occurred in 2021 in Henan provinces, China. So these are three videos taken that days, which here
Professor Chen, it seems that you need to reconnect to the Zoom link. Professor Chen. Gimana ya? Gimana? Kita pindah ke Pak dulu. Yeah, it seems that there is a connection problems in the Professor Chen area. So can we make a little bit changes in our session? May I invite Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif? Pak Sigit, are you ready to present your paper? Selamat pagi Pak Sigit.
Terima kasih Pak.
Oh siap.
Terima kasih Pak. Ya.
Ini soalnya Pak Profesor Chen ini ada sedikit gangguan. Jadi mohon kesediaan Pak Sigit untuk mempresentasikan lebih dulu.
Ya, terima kasih.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with the third presenter, Professor Sigit Supatmo Arif from Gajah Mada University in Yogyakarta. The title of the presentation is Artificial Intelligence and Quick Decision Making for Irrigation Management and Increasing Agricultural Production. Professor Sigit, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for my opportunity to join in this seminar. Let me give some presentations. This title of our presentation is Artificial Intelligence and Quick Decision Making for Irrigation Management and Increasing Agricultural Productions. Pak Director and then others participants, Pak Dirjen, Pak Kop, as Chairman of the HATI, and also Pak Rizal, Pak Ade as a Director of Thermic and Operation and Maintenance, and all of the participants. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam. This this presentation is we call it this program in Indonesian we call it SIPASI. SIPASI means System Information for Irrigation Management. We developed this program since 2014, and under stop model, and then we developed in website model if not mistaken in 2020. We work together with the Ministry of Public Works, and this SIPASI is now slightly up to develop under SIPASI version 2. Ladies and gentlemen, let me continue with our concept of SIPASI, and then I will introduce Mr. Dr. Andri Prima, because I have class, so I have Dr. Andri will present our presentation, and then I will leave for a while, and then I will join again, and after I've done with my class. So, the SIPASI, the concept of SIPASI. Next, please. SIPASI is the background of development is we have a problem in rice productions and food production also, and then we try to continue our self-sufficiency in rice. So with the limited resources, including water, energy, and so on. Next, please. There are several factors who influence when we develop SIPASI. The first one is physical factors. The second one is high populations we have in Indonesia, especially in Japan. And then the third one is development of industry and also tourism. The fourth one is financial factors. The fifth one ecological factors, including climate change and also other factors. And the second one is traffic development, information and communication technology. We have to anticipate this all of the factors. Listen. The goal of the irrigation modernization in Indonesia is intended to create participation irrigation management system that oriented toward the fulfilling irrigation system factors, such as increasing irrigation service level, managing irrigation and water and efficiency, effective and sustainability, and to support food and water sustainability and security. Please, next, please. The SIPASI or as irrigation management, we have several factors who influence. The first one is water availability. The second one is infrastructure, good infrastructure. The third one is water management, institutions and water resources and human resources management. So the goal is to increase agricultural productions and farmers' prosperity. Next, please. Actually, we have to develop Sipasi. We have several legal bases. The first one is water law, and then ministry decree, and then apa namanya surat and apa namanya di surat edarannya circular letter about Directorate General of Water Resources and Organization of Irrigation in Indonesia and other design criteria of irrigations in Indonesia. And then next please. Optimasi is developed with the three foundations: real-time, water allocations, and real doses. And then we use this utilization of technology, data calculations, and processing. We have all of this in computering methodology. So we have smart irrigation system, and we call it Optimasi. Apologize that I had class, so I could not continue on my presentations, and then Dr. Andri will continue our presentations, and then I will leave for well after my class time. Please, Dr. Andri is associate professor in Department of Agriculture Engineering and Biosystem in Kacamata University and is also program coordinator and system development for the Optimasi research. Please, Dr. Andri, I apologize, I have to leave for a while, and then I continue now during discussion. Please, Dr. Andri.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Cikgu. Okay, next slide. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to continue the presentation to explain about the smart irrigation water management concept. So the idea is based on the system development, consists of the input, process, and also output. So the input is creating the sensor technology, water quality monitoring, automation of the remote sensing, and the last one is the AI-based water availability prediction model. And the process, the analytical model will be used. The first is data analytical and also transverse model. And the output will be the smart irrigation controller and precision irrigation. Then the idea of the smart irrigation water management is to control water resources while maintaining or even increasing dry yields. The interesting thing is the smart is consists of the specific, measurable, attainable, holistic, and time-power. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, for developing the smart irrigation management, we already have the Optimasi 1.0 that already support the pillar number 3 for the improvement of the irrigation management system. So there are several features. The first is the mapping irrigation area profile and schematic. So it's depend on the which irrigation system that we use for the management. So we can create our custom schematic diagram. And the second one, we can also make a customized planting pattern. This is important for managing the plants according to the scenario and several of them. And the third is we can implementation of the water allocation, of the real-time water allocation, and also reporting and monitoring. It means that we can monitor the discharge and also the availability of water in our irrigation area. Next. And the CPAC 1.0 is potential to be adopted as the smart irrigation water management. So in our works last 2 years, development of smart irrigation water management is a collaboration between Ministry of Public Works under the Directorate Bina Teknik, SDA, UGM, Faculty of Agricultural Technology. We have a project for expanding the function of the CPAC 1.0 to be the CPAC 2.0 with the function improvement and also the larger implementation. So this is the documentation during our signing preparation between the Directorate of Technical Development and also FTP UGM. And this is the discussion during the development what kind of features actually required to be developed and the location that we choose to be a pilot project for the trial implementation. Next. And then after discussion and also considering the latest technology, the CPAC 2.0 will at the time we improve with the predictive capabilities using the latest model based on the AI, and also improving the user interaction, which means we improve the user interface and also user experience, and also the integration with SCADA or calculator, and visual observation with the camera, and also mobile application that help the user to manage the irrigation area and also monitor the condition in the surrounding environment. So from the CPAC 1 and the CPAC 2, there are several features, 4 features that differentiate between the CPAC 1 and the CPAC 2. Next. So this is the user interface for the CPAC 2.0. The left one, this is the main dashboard that consists of the information about the irrigation area and also the water balance. This is important for the user and also government to manage the policy during the water management. And the right side, this is the irrigation water supply and also the irrigation. So you can see also in the video, there are different color for the tertiary and also the color in the network. So this means that the water is flow there. The animation is help user to see and to monitor what's really happening in the flow. Next. So the last one, this is the Rencana Tata Tanam Global or RTTG. This is the planning for the planting. For example, we are doing the tillage, the plant growth, and also the harvest. So there are several, we say that the 5 days pancarian. So we can estimate the water requirement during that days. And the right hand, this is a real-time monitoring for surrounding environment and scale near the water requirement. So I mentioned the place for the location, this one. The CPAC 2.0 is tested in the trial in 3 locations. The first is the Kertung Putri, the second one is the Pamopulu, and then Tapo. This is in the Sulawesi, under the Balai Besar Sungai Pontangan Kinabalu. We also like to thank you for the opportunity to trial this system in that location. Next. So this is the documentation during our trial in the 3 locations. This is our socialization and also training for the operator in the Tapu-Tapu, Pawakulu, and also Ketung Putri. And the right-hand photos, it shows that this is on-job training. So we train the petugas or guru using the smartphone. So using the smartphone is very simple and easy for the petugas or guru for checking and also reducing the complexity of the system. Because if we are only have one system, so maybe the task is very complicated. So we divide it part per part, and then the user has a task or job that focusing on the location only. So this might be useful for the future. Next. And we have a lesson learned during our trial and also development of the system. Effectively managing human knowledge through technology is crucial for sustainable implementation, as it ensures continuous innovation, enhance decision making, and foster long-term growth. This means that during our trial and introducing the technology, the bottleneck or the important factor is the human that they want to use the technology to run the technology and use it to help their daily tasks. Next. So that's why we consider about the Water Resource Knowledge Management Center is a platform for managing knowledge in the utilization of the water resources for agriculture. The utilization of AI or artificial intelligence for accelerating the knowledge-based digital learning. So the WRKMC, it has 4 features. The first is online course. It has quality learning material to develop skill. So it means that many activities related to the water resource management, we prepare the material or course using the small video so user can understand, easy to follow, and then it can be repeated if they need. The second one is discussion forum. It's the place to discuss, share experience, and also ask questions with a community or expert and enthusiasts of water management. This is important. Sometimes the knowledge from the one irrigation and the other irrigation area is different, so maybe they can share in this forum. And the third is a knowledge center. It's a comprehensive collection of knowledge, guides, and reference to support knowledge management. So this is a several knowledge that already collected and we put it into trees. So user can easily find what kind of knowledge actually needed by checking the trees and finding the good knowledge for him. And the last features is Ask AI. This is a smart assistant ready to help answer the question about the water management and other topics anytime. The idea is thing like in the GPT, like if you can ask any question, but this is based on the local data, repository data that stored related to the water resource management. So this means that site specific for the answering the question in the water resources.
Dr. Andri, can you conclude in 2 or 3 minutes? Thank you.
Yes. This is the last slide. Next. Yeah, this is the flow of the AI. So user can ask the question and also give another advice if sometimes the question is not very clear. So they can get an answer from the AI and then we can use it for new knowledge by validating by the expert. Next. Yeah, this is the data to knowledge in the community. As you can see, we have several irrigation systems that they have already used WhatsApp group. Means that many complaints and ask question and suggestion or maybe photos. It's really helpful for generating idea. It can be summarized manually by administrator or expert in water resources. But we can also use the AI to generate the new knowledge, and we can be used by user to get a new idea, and this cycle will be continue for the generating new knowledge. Okay, next. Yeah, this is the concluding remarks. The incorporating advanced AI in the CPASI 2.0 is a major upgrade. It's offer more accurate water need prediction and irrigation schedule, improving efficiency, and the system is more intuitive by user-friendly and make it easier for farmer and manager to use. I forgot to mention that currently the CPASI 2.0 is under the preparation for patent together between the PU and also UGM. So in the future that everyone can use the CPASI in the general for the pursuit. And the second remark is that CPASI 2 is tested in the various locations to gather data and feedback. These trials are crucial for refining the system. By experimenting the different scenarios, the goal is to develop a robust and adaptable technology for wide use. The trial help to identify the challenge and the opportunity for the improvement and ensuring the final product is effective and reliable. And the last conclusion is a key part of the CPASI 2.0 is the Knowledge Management Center, which support a continuous user learning and development. It organizes knowledge in a structured way, making information easy to access, and the center also offers an AI-powered query features for quick and accurate answer, which help users make informed decisions based on their verified knowledge. Okay, next. Yeah, I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Andri, for your presentation, and also congratulations for the development of the CPASI 1, and thank you for updating the latest development to CPASI 2. We will have a discussion after the presentation of all four panelists. We will try to continue to the presentation from Profesor Ridwan Sutriyadi. Pak Prof. Ridwan, apakah Bapak sudah tersambung dan siap untuk melakukan presentasi?
Ya, baik Pak.
Bisa ya Pak ya? Baik. Okay, let's continue with the fourth presentation from Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi. The title of the presentation is Utilization of Artificial Intelligence in Sustainable City Development. Professor Sutriyadi, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. It is a pleasure for me to be invited as one of the presenter in this webinar. I would like to present a general view perspective of urban planner in terms of the implementation AI with the consideration of the water resource, especially in a context of urban and regional planning. For information, I'm not an AI expert. I'm an urban planner learner who deeply committed to the leveraging digital tools. I'm also active in Indonesia Association of Planner in a digital planning tools division, including AI to enhance public services and promote sustainable urban development. As we know that water is an extremely important resource for life on Earth. Given how it is almost unbelievable that it can be used carelessly, sewage, toxic chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides, oil, metals, and solid waste pollute water in lakes, rivers, and oceans around the world. Water resources
explores the ways in which the Earth's water is doing to tackle the problem. Here are some facts about the water. For instance, the scarcity on the other side related with the tata kelola or good governance. Also related to this, and most important part is the financing perspective and also the cooperation among actors. Here are the challenge in terms of clean waters and the usage of water in general. Other things that I would like to show about the urban issues in general in Indonesia, since based on the last midterm development plan or RPJM, especially in the division of urban development, at least there are 6 issues related to urban development. The first one is related with the physics and infrastructures. The second one related with the economic growth and disparities of economic development. Other thing is that the social and demographic point of view, environment and climate change, and also the identity and urban uniqueness in Indonesia. Based on the international publication related with water, AI, and urban development, the most important terminology or knowledge, most of them are, the first one is biology, the second one is material science, while the attention to the urban plannings not cover all the five dominance terminologies. Other things related with the water, especially the first one with, related with the governance, with the tata kelola. The third one, water as the resources and the security of water. Other things that how to access water for everyone and the quality of water. Here are the first few about the idea about research based on water. The first one is related with the pharmaceutical. Other things that related with the gradation for the water quality. Waste in terms of water treatment, related with the degradation based on the bio point of view. So in terms of urban development, at least 5 components, 5 important components that come up. The first one, of course, is water. The second one is energy. The third one is health. The fourth one is agriculture, and the last one is biodiversity. The global water crisis impacts access to sufficient quality and quantity of water for drinking, cooking, bathing, washing hands, and growing goods. Around 1.1 billion people do not have access to water. And 2.7 billion 1 month per year. More than 1 million people die each year due to the lack of access to the clean water and sanitation. So other things, the fourth other terminologies also related with separated with water. Biodiversity cannot sustain since it's also related with water, agriculture, of course, and health, and also energy. Key energy issues is in the climate change, the retirement of aging coal, fired power stations, and focus of renewable energy sources. So in terms of AI, in December 2019, one of the edition of magazine focus provide a simple overview of the arena of AI utilization, which then be further developed.
It is described that AI can be developed in areas such as increased automation, health service, is response, intelligent weathering forecasting, and of course for transportation. Alan Turing says that it can be interpreted by the research of Alan Turing AI is the science of engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer program. So there are around 18 popular forms of AI in our daily life. The first one is speech recognition. For instance, Google introduced the recorder and recognition tools that can transcribe speeches in real time with pinpoint accuracy. However, the anticipation is that the various phases of urban development and personal and group interests will not be easily automated. The second one is speech recognition. Google Recorder, an example of speech recognition. Here, the anticipation is that voice recognition technology can also potentially be fake, so it can manipulate the need and services for citizens and can even give rise to the potential for new crimes. Sorry for the mistakes in the second slides. The third one related with the smart homes device, such as thermal devices that use AI to adjust the automatically AI application that conserve energy by automatically switching on off the lights based on human presence, and smart speakers are some example of AI in smart homes. For your information, this presentation also is a part of my book, which is right now still in the editing phases to be finalized. This is around 300 pages of book, then will be edited into less than 200. The third idea is that the availability of renewable prerequisite for the smart home, as in the anticipation of security leaks that not only endanger one house but also area or even in city range. The fourth is facial recognition applications, security systems, social media, and even unlocking smartphone. The anticipation is that they are also concerned about the use of facial recognition technology in urban planning. Some argue that it could be used to violate privacy and civil liberties, and that it could perpetuate bias and inequality if not carefully designed and implemented. Therefore, urban planners must ensure that facial recognition technology is used in a way that is transparent, fair, and so respect individual privacy and consent. The fifth, navigation application. Application like Google Maps and Waze use AI to provide real-time traffic updates and suggest the fastest route. So the anticipation is that it is necessary to anticipate surveillance by certain parties regarding the characteristic of its users for negative interests. The sixth, rideshare application like Uber, Lyft, or right now Gojek use AI to match riders with drivers and optimize, including prices that we have to. Anticipation of data access, including research by certain parties for negative interest, or design that are not rooted in local identity. Because of these services, so the provider can form or can collect a big data about the plan for all the cities in certain countries. 7, short videos and video summaries. AI-powered tools like TikTok and summarize bot can create short videos and summaries automatically. This become popular right now. Anticipation is related to the high dependence of those short videos, so that users are reluctant to study them in more depth through theories, reference books, and standard operating procedure that have been formulated. The eighth, video games. AI is used in video games to create intelligent and realistic non-player characteristics. The anticipation through area recognition related to nomophobia or addiction to game or gadgets, which will result in unproductive daily activities. 9. Healthcare management. AI is used in healthcare to analyze medical data, diagnose disease, and develop treatment plans. Anticipate the leakage of someone's track record for negative. In addition, how are the challenges of utilizing this technology inclusively for all levels of society, not just in a context of urban, but in a regional context. 10th, automated financial investing. AI-powered robo-advisors are used by many investors to manage their portfolios, a city or area that can cause unrest. So it is necessary to consider inclusive AI for this The 11, virtual travel booking agents. AI-powered virtual travel booking agent like Mola Messi can help travelers plan their trips effectively. Anticipation of the transfer with the use of this technology, because it will improve travel patterns not only locally but also between regions. Also, for destination location can experience an increase in visits, which can have negative impacts monitoring. AI-powered tools like Hootsuite and Sprout Social and monitor social media activity and provide insight. Anticipate the result of the analysis of social media usage, because it can be used by certain parties or group for certain interests that can disrupt marketing. Chatbot. AI-powered chatbots can be used in marketing to engage with consumers and provide personalized recommendations. So anticipation of changes in the structure of job provision and readiness of supporting with the presence of marketing chatbots. In addition, with its active nature, that's the existence of this innovation can also disrupt the comfort of residents, feeling disturbed by its marketing style through our handphones and so on and so forth. 14. AI-powered robots. AI-powered robots are used in manufacturing, healthcare, and other industries to perform complex tasks. It is necessary to anticipate the malfunction of this robot, as well as other things that we have to consider is about the geographical condition and the services of commodities that will be managed. 15. Digital voice assistants. Digital voice assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant use AI to understand and respond to voice command. Anticipating that voice data can be used for inappropriate purposes, it is also necessary to anticipate the habit of speaking in front of the electronic device, because it will automatically process the sound produced. 16. Google Search use AI to provide relevant search results and answer questions. The convenience can cause laziness to do conventional activities that can reduce the sharpness and process of thinking and learning. In addition, it can also cause anxiety with easy access to certain content. 17. Self-driving cars. Self-driving car obstacle. Anticipation of reduced ability, including driving sharpness, also available transportation facilities. In addition, it can also laziness to do activities in vehicles that can cause discomfort or even accidents that could have. And the last one, 18, smart maintenance is used in smart grids to optimize energy use and reduce costs. anticipation of the availability of various standard operating procedures, so that with the maintenance of this smart network, it can improve the quality of life of its citizen, not cause problem that should not occur. Now, since here are the urban planning perspective related with the use of AI, like analyzing data, engaging with the citizen, generative AI, which can stimulate the impact of the different strategies and optimize urban services based on data, including understandable automation. The 5, better disaster management and long-term planning. 6, while AI has the potential to provide many benefits in urban planning, there are also several obstacles that need to be overcome before AI can fully integrate it into urban planning. One challenge is to ensure equitable outcome for all residents in urban area. In this case, this is a sense of inclusivity or AI for everyone. AI, and it is important to understand about the use of AI related with the consumption patterns. AI can recognize consumption patterns, make prediction, validate data, and simulate the behavior of water system. The second one is to analyze data, including the water meter system water. This includes checking water quality, tracking water usage, and identifying potential problems in water supply infrastructure. Third one, related with decision making. So in this presentation, I provide a short description, and the right hand side, it's a kind of illustration of the idea based on certain publication. Decision making, AI helps water utilizes maximize available information and data to make better decision while improving service delivery. The 4, leak detection. It is AI. It is important to form and solution can optimize water distribution network by identifying pressure-related issues such as leaks and then coordinating responses. Device like this is easily demonstrate the usage of hardware and software based on AI in optimizing water distributions. Risk mitigation. AI is also being used to predict and mitigate potential risks and associated with the water demand. AI can use to predict water demand and optimize water supply throughout the day, which can help water companies reduce water wastage and ensure that water demand is met effectively. 9, water supply efficiency. AI models can be used to optimize water supply, minimize costs, reduce water losses, and improve the energy efficiency of infrastructure. 10, water treatment. AI can optimize energy use in water treatment and distribution, reducing costs and carbon emission of water.
Professor Ridwan, could you conclude in 2 or 3 minutes?
Disaster, such as the first one floods, the second one droughts, the third one cyclones, the fourth landslides. So what urban planning and AI can do with it? The first one is related to the early warning system. It is becoming more widely acknowledged that using natural process to control water supply lessen the effect of disaster. So it's a successful tactic for addressing the issue posed by climate change. So it is better to use nature-based solution rather than to use AI with the complicated and costly hardware and software that has to be provided. So other thing is that I forgot the second one, the community preparedness. Community this may become more resilient to this emergency response plans. So what can AI do for hydrometeorological AI disaster? Just like I said before, the AI can be used in terms of to construct a warning system, just like these two examples, risk assessment and mapping, and then resource management and logistic, also post-disaster assessment. Other thing is that besides the importance of AI, it is also important to know the local wisdom. So we can use more local wisdom. So other things that we can use AI in Indonesia that can be identified. At least there are six local wisdom related with the how to cope with the meteorological disaster. Just like in Gayo, in Jambi, and Sumbarak, Danau Tempe, and also other things that I Klatong and a lot of village. So that's all. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Thank you very much,
wabarakatuh.
Professor Ridwan Sutriati, for your extensive elaboration about the AI implementation in the sustainable city development. We will try to continue with back to the Professor Yang Bu Chen. Professor Chen, are you ready to present? Ada. Ya, Professor Chen, Professor Yang Bu Chen.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you with us? Okay.
yeah. I will.
I'm sorry for the technical problems, but it is now your turn to present your paper. So please, it's your time to present your paper. Yeah, maybe you don't need to turn on the camera to make it more stable. Yeah. Professor Chen, the time is yours. Jaringannya. Gimana? Share screen dari sini. Oke, oke. Professor Chen, we have not heard your voice, so can we help you with the share screen from here? So you just explain the screen, the slide from your side.
So you can see it, right? Okay. Yes, good. Oh,
Professor Chen, are you still with us? We have not heard your voice. Nggak bisa ya. It seems that we still have a technical constraint from Professor Chen. Nggak ada ya. Ya. While we are waiting for the better connection with Professor Chen, I think we can continue with the discussion session with the other three speaker. And there is some question for Professor Marlinda and also Professor Sikit and also.
Suaranya Pak Tri yang seperti coba yang
Kenapa? Oh, okay. Yeah, we can continue with the discussion session with the other three speaker. The first question for Professor Marlinda. Professor Marlinda, are you still with us? Professor Marlinda, there is some question for you. Are you ready to answer? Professor Marlinda. There is some question for you. I will try to select one of the question for you. Are you ready to answer?
Yeah.
Mana? Or maybe we can start with Professor Sigit or Professor Dr. from UK. Yeah. 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 Professor Marlinda, are you ready to answer the question? Maybe we can start with a simple question for Professor Sigit or Dr. Andri. There is a question from Professor Waluyo Hatmoko. Is Sipasi in line with the annual water allocation plan in river basin?
Yes.
Dr. Andri, please answer the question from Pak Waluyo.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have yes, thank you very much for the question from Pak Waluyo Hatmoko. Sipasi is an irrigation system management considering the water balance and it adapts to the irrigation scenario, especially the system with regulated index. So this allows the water to support alignment with annual water allocation plan, which typically use dependable flow rates, 80% probably based on the historical data. However, the evaluation is needed to ensure water alignment considering the specific annual water allocation plan provision from the river basin. Yeah, it can be lebih Pak Sikit banyak additional information.
Yes, I think what we are doing in Sipasi is we are having actual discharge in irrigation in river flows, and then we measure with actually, and then we use this automatic water discharge recorder, and then we flow to the irrigation system. So actually, Sipasi is mostly using the actual irrigations water irrigations automatic recorder. Even also in the fields we have also the automatic percolation meter, so we can measure percolations and infiltrations meter actually. So actually, most of the irrigation management can be done by optimally telematic systems. I think this is my our answer, Pak Triyoto.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Sigit and also Dr. Andri. Professor Marlinda, there is a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Oh, it's not connected yet, Professor Marlinda. Okay, the second question may be also from Professor Sigit. I
Yeah.
read from Mr. Mahrudin. Best practice for irrigation, upland and lowland, is to provide water as vegetations need due to its growth stages. Thus, the moisture contents needed for the growth in each phases are important to be included. The influence of open water to moisture contents will be impacted by the soils. This way, the irrigation can be effective and efficient applied. Will this be considered in your system in CPASI 2.0? Please, Pak Sigit or Dr. Andri.
Yes, for the CPASI 2.0, we also have demonstration lab for considering the precise water requirement. So, in the some irrigation area, you have to use one cloud for measure effective rainfall. In there, we have evaporation, considering the evaporation, and also evaporation. So, the one fruit also the fruits is also one consideration for plant water requirement. So, it might be high for the calculation and allocation. It's also automatic on the CPASI 2.0. Hopefully this translates.
Yeah, I think we can continue with the next question for Professor Ridwan Sutriyadi. It comes from Ista Ludiawati. The first question, what do you think the most important requirements to develop AI-based urban or region services in terms of water resources management? And the
Thank you.
Okay,
I try to. Yes.
yeah, please.
To know about the need of the water, we first have to know about the cluster of the water issues, not only in urban areas but also in surrounding areas. Yes, they have a relationship in poor and hilly in the upstream and the downstream. So in this case, by the latest regulation, Indonesia are entering the new phases. So we are implementing the ISO 37110 related with the data, urban data. More deeply than that, there is also ISO city and resilient city. So last year and this year we are conducted exercising combining those three components, which is, of course, in that ISO consists water characteristic data and also the metadata related with the waters. It is not easy to do that. Our exercise is in Cimahi with only 3 kecamatan, but also the effort is very high. So the most important part is also the commitment about how to also to provide the data. So shall I? So there is also a question about AI known to be data hungry. If the data is limited, for example, limited ground basis records, then perceptions or stream flow datasets needed as AI model input or validating AI model results. How can we address this limitation to utilize AI? So my answer is in the last slides, in the last two slides. I I said that problem with us with more simple approach rather than AI. So like the understanding local wisdom, it is more appropriate if the problem is not complicated. But if it's the problem is very complicated, that can not be approached by simple method or analysis, so it is a challenge for planner to use the AI approach. If we still would like to use AI, so it is a challenge for engineer to find the most appropriate AI tools, like one of the 18 types or popular AI that I presented before. I still remember around 10 or 15 years ago, at that time, the Android smartphone is still in the earlier development. So it is completed with around 7 to 8 sensors. At the time, we exercise with other universities to understand about the interval of the humidity of water in certain land use. So it is important for the urban planner to formulate the land suitability, to give information for the land suitability at that time. But right now, there are so many tools that can answer that situation, such as, like I said before, expert from South Korea develop not only in surface waters to find water leakage in the soil underneath the land. So other question is that what are the main challenge in implementing AI in Indonesia? We have a previous research in Cirebon, for instance. So first one is related with the appropriate hardware and software to be put in the location. Other thing is that how to maintain appropriately. Other things that we have other specific situation like in Sumedang, that the very expensive tools that can provide data it is ruined, like it's so the ants just make a mess there. The other question is that AI is widely used. Source development is accurate while climate data is highly variable and always changing. So my understanding is that the popular case study that can be used to understand about the use of LA cities. Why? LA cities need 50 years to provide sufficient water for the public from 1920 to 1970. So not only in providing waters, but also the availability of water is also related with how to provide the energy, the electricity. So in LA, the company, the state-owned company named LA Water and LA Water and Electricity. So it is important for us in Indonesia also to study in the more multidisciplinary to provide more appropriate about water, not only for urban side but also in a regional side also, which has a relation with other infrastructures. So that's all my presentation, Mr. Moderator. If there is something missing, so let me know so I can try to answer the question.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Professor Ridwan. we will try to raise a question for Professor Marlinda if possible. Professor Marlinda, are you still with us? Professor Marlinda. Can you answer the question? I will raise a question for you. Kenapa ya?
Can you hear Professor Marlinda?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Is there any question from co-host 2, Pak Mr. Triweko? Can you hear Mr. Triweko or Professor Marlinda?
Yes, if possible, I will raise a question for Professor Marlinda. Okay. There is a question from an undergraduate student in civil engineering. I think we are interested to respond her or his question. So the question is...
I'm sorry, I can't hear co-host 2. I can't hear the voice.
Kenapa? Dengar.
Pak Tri mungkin langsung dari laptop kali.
Iya. Ya. Ini udah. Oke.
I will speak directly from the government. Okay. Yes, so it is a question from an undergraduate student in civil engineering
Currently studying in hydrology and water resources management for Professor Marlinda. The first question, rain data is a limitation in our planning, so we are forced to use satellite data to overcome this and need to correct it. However, the available data is generally daily data, and this is not enough for data in planning because it also requires rain distribution and is obtained via satellite. But satellite data is not very reliable, especially in narrow water sets, especially in mountainous areas, due to rain time being too large in satellite data. Can we use AI to compare our current rainfall data with research so that satellite data can be used generally for all types of water sets? This is the question. And also the second question, if I may, there are also problems in frequency analysis because land use conditions are changing very massively with multiple inputs, and comparators can we do better frequency analysis than the equations learned in hydrology with AI. Professor Marlinda, there is the two questions from our students here. Please respond.
Yeah, thank you. You can hear me clearly?
Yes, madam, clearly I hear your voice.
The question number 1. Okay, in this case, it's not only in Malaysia, the problem is also experienced by almost all developing countries and in the third world because of the scarcity of ground apparatus, especially in the rural areas, and in this case, for my study area at the hydropower dam, the study was conducted before the dam was construction and during the dam construction, and we only have the ground apparatus halfway during the dam construction and after. So now we have problem before the dam is being constructed and the first half of the construction. Right. So in this case, we studied thoroughly on various ungauge techniques. So these ungauge techniques if you're a hydrology or a statistician, you will notice there are many methods being introduced worldwide, but you have to choose which is suitable for your particular type of data and the seasons and the location of the country. Now, unengaged methods are mostly on stochastic and statistics, i.e. they only deal with numbers. Stochastic and statistics are pure mathematics. They do not take into account what happened on the ground. So that we have to accept the limitation of stochastic method and statistical method. Because I know civil engineers, hydrologists, we also incorporate what happened on the ground. So this would answer the question on if there's a change of land use. Okay, so again, I stress, whatever happened on the ground is not being captured by stochastic and statistical method. Now, back to AI. If you have gone through the theory of the various AI from the traditional neural network up to hybrid methods, up to optimization method, until now we are doing on deep learning, which is an enhanced method. Okay, so basically AI are sets of formulas that we as a human being, we key in the formulas. And these formulas, when we key in, are based on our specialization. Example, hydrological formulas, or if you are oceanography, you use data from the coastal area or the ocean areas. Or if you are a geotechnical engineer, you use your formulas from geotechnical. So basically, whatever formulas that has been established, we key in those formulas in a coding form to whatever AI language. It can be neural network, it can be fuzzy, it can be many other techniques. So basically, there's a question just now. The black box of AI, yes, we admit. If you are using a commercial free software, which we call it black box, those depend on who is the designer. Which formula you key in is up to designer. But for the end user, we call it black box. Okay, in this study, I did not use a black box because I key in myself the formula from hydrological formula or the deterministic method, that particular formula, we key in into AI. So basically, if you want to see whether AI is accurate, depends on what formula that you key in. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Because there are also biasness and so on. Okay, back to the satellite data. Yes, satellite data that we capture from the atmosphere, you need to validate with the ground. So back to square one, for the case of ground data, we do not have it before the dam was constructed and during the construction. There's no ground data. At that time, being a rural area, the power plant is in a rural area, the government or the hydropower plant operator did not put the ground data apparatus. And somebody asked how many apparatus was in the ground. It was like only 1, 2, 3. Very, very few in such a large hydropower dam. So that is the reason we turn to unengaged catchment technique. Okay, and again, unengaged catchment technique, if you go through, it's all statistic and stochastic. It's all mathematical. So there are limitations when we use a mathematical model, mathematical equation, where they do not take into account the ground changes. Okay. So the only way for us, back to the question just now on the first one, whether we can use AI for satellite data. Okay, before you use AI, you need to clean your satellite data. We cannot use whatever captured by satellite immediately put into your model. That is very wrong, because the bias can go up to 300%. So when we validate, it's very important for you to validate whatever data that you get from satellite, whatever data you get from radar as well, and whatever data that you get from any NOAA, American or Europe or UK atmospheric technology. You need to validate with your ground data, because your ground Example, it can be Middle East, it can be Southeast Asia, it can be Japan. So when we validate with the ground, we have issue, the ground data is not enough, or basically none, or only one or two ground data, which is like unreliable. So then we have to use ungauge method. And of course, if you're a statistician, you know ungauge method are purely mathematics. Okay, there is also another bias, another limitation. So we are working on limitation, but that is the best. As a human being, that is the best you can do, rather than nothing. Okay, so once you validate with your ground data, in this case it's ungauge method, because there's already a bias, then basically when you validate, you're cleaning your data. Okay, so once you clean your data, you start using your hydrodynamic model on the ground, which is your rainfall runoff. Now, rainfall runoff, basically a deterministic model. In this case, we use HATHI, where HATHI do incorporate changes on the ground, i.e. the catchment area, the vegetation cover, slope. Those are the parameters required in HATHI. The length of the river, width, the profile of the river. So when we use HATHI, yes, we do incorporate our ground terrain and so on. And okay, from once we have done the rainfall runoff model, we proceed then with the prediction. Now there is a question just now, how reliable is the prediction? Okay, how reliable is the prediction is what kind of formula that you key in into your AI coding. It doesn't matter, it can be neural network, it can be hybrid neural network, it can be optimization method, it can be deep learning, whatever AI method that you use will depend on whatever formula that you use in your coding. So again, I stress, let's say I put my own coding with whatever formula from the HATHI, rainfall runoff model and so on. So since I'm the one who do the coding, I do not call it a black box. But if I give my coding to you and you run without knowing what formula I use, then you are using a black box. But the designer is not called this black box. Only the end users are using black box. Because the end user doesn't know what assumption I use in my formulas, what range of parameters I use. Okay, I hope that's clear on the black box issue. Okay, so that is the danger of end users of AI. When you are using a black box, you don't know, you do not have the capability of cracking the code unless you are a computer graduate student. Once you crack the code, then you will know what kind of formula and what kind of range. But the people who crack the code are not hydrologists, they are not civil engineers, they are just computer graduates, so they do not know the formulas of hydrology that we use. I hope that's clear, yeah? Somebody asked on that just now. Okay, so in this study, we only use statistical tests, i.e. RMSE and R-squared. Yes, I admit we need to use many other statistical tests, it's correct. Okay, that is mathematical, that statistics. Okay. Yes, future study we need to incorporate more statistical tests, not just MSE and R-squared. Okay, so for now, based on the R-squared and MSE, we predict for the future. And that you saw just now the result on the future rainfall, future river flow. From that, the hydropower plant, with the amount of river flow coming in, they start to predict how much electricity. So even the electricity that they predict in the future is also a rough estimate. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Mandina. And next, I will raise a question for Professor Sikit. First of all, congratulations to you, your team, and University of Gadjah Mada for the development of smart irrigation water management system, which has been improved from SIPASI 1.0 to SIPASI 2.0. This DSS should be applied in managing water distribution
in large irrigation system in Indonesia in order to conserve water to fulfill other water demand, such as water supply for urban areas and industries, and increasing agricultural production to achieve food self-supporting goals. My question, what kind of investment should be prepared before we apply this technology in a large irrigation system? Professor Sigit,
Ya Pak.
time is yours to answer the question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Tribeka. So, this very important questions. I think because some people worry about the implementations in terms of the financing and financing of irrigation system that most of people think that the irrigation system is very expensive, and we already try to try Sipasi in Ketumbutu, and we just made several equipment in terms of the optimization in all of the irrigation systems. Maybe we can use three parts of the system, systems. So maybe we can use it from upstream and the middle, and then the downstream. So we can use also the mobile phone to operate the water Sipasi and water master, and ask to the jury to invent the Sipasi. So it's very cheap. Not necessary to have expensive financing for the implementation of Sipasi. Apa namanya? Investment rule. It's not necessary to have investment for the development of Sipasi as irrigation methodologizations in the country. This is my answer, Pak.
Professor Sigit, for your response. And the next question for Professor Ridwan. From your presentation, we understand that the scope of the application of AI in sustainable city development is very broad. If we learn from many complexities of urban water problems in Indonesian cities, could you suggest from where we can we start to implement this technology? Professor Ridwan.
Yeah, thank you very much. For instance, Bandung right now have bottom-up information or data based on the household. So the basic data comes from the household. It's also to incorporate the data from the household with the data which is available in the database based on the demography which is available in city level and then in the provincial and in the national level. That's the most important part is the connection of data that can be in a larger context for the big data. Other
can be seen through the eyes based on urban data ISO 37120, and also how the city or region will be developed to, for instance, in terms of resilience way or smart way or other development terms. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Hello?
Sudah. Okay. We will continue with the question for Professor Marlinda. Thank you very much for your extensive sharing for AI application for rainfall runoff modeling to overcome limited ground station rainfall data, and especially related with the Kenir Dam. I think the audience, especially who are involved in reservoir planning, design, and operation, are motivated to learn in more detail of this new engineering approach. Could you share with us any constraints or difficulties during the application of these techniques, either in the planning stage or in the operation stage of the reservoir? Please, Professor Marlinda.
Right. Thank you very much. I am delighted you are motivated. Very good. Because now everything is AI. But I need to warn all of you here, AI is not magic. AI is not miracle. Okay, we have to be very, very careful when using AI because it depends on the designer of that coding. Because whoever doing the coding, i.e. the designer, can be biased. Example, if it's American, if it's China, depends. So if you have the capability of writing your own coding, because you know what formula you want, so do not rely on commercial AI, i.e. the one that you download for free, especially like ChatGPT, whatever. Because you don't know, you cannot crack their code and you don't know what they actually put their parameters in. Okay, I need to warn you on that. Okay, the challenges. One is being developing countries and being third world countries, or even in the Middle East and in the continents of African continents. I know the government have issues a restricted, limited allocation budget to plan your ground apparatus. Now, as a researcher, as an academician, we need ground apparatus to validate whatever atmospheric data that we use. It can be radar, satellite, and so on. So, that is the major constraint. Now, ground data for validation is not an issue for developed countries. I'll give you an example. When we do radar technology, when the Japan Meteorological Department explained to the Malaysian Meteorological Department, we see their ground data is your station is very near to each other. So there's no argue on the validity or the accuracy of the ground data. So developed countries got no issue on that. But developing country, yes, we still have the issue. Especially for cases like in the past. Like in my case, we need to know what happened before the construction of the hydropower plant, before, during, and after, because we want to see the changes of ecology. Now, people will blame the hydropower operators disrupting the ecology of the area because of the massive hydropower dam. So, but when we investigate using, in this case, technology of statistical downscaling model and satellite data, in the past, this is what happened. This is the best human being can do in the past, currently, and in the future. During, now, and we predict in the future with whatever technology that we have now. So, ground data is very, very important for validation. Without validation, a master's and PhD student cannot pass his Viva. We know that. And when you predict in the future, it's unreliable, nobody will believe you. So back to square one is ground data. But in ground data, even though we do not have a apparatus on the ground, there is always another technique, i.e. ungauge method. So you really have to go through what are the ungauge method that people have implemented successfully. Ungauge method can be area that has no ground data or area on mountainous, like somebody mentioned just now, the terrain and mountainous rural area. Right, so there's always ungauge method that you can rely on. And I can assure you ungauge method is not easy, yeah, because you are on mathematical, stochastic, statistical, you need to get the mathematician to come join your team. Okay, then based on the future, yes, we do have AI that can predict short term and long term. Short term as in flash flood. For example, when you have tremor, the earthquake, or now we have this slope failure. Yes, AI has the capability because whoever designed the coding will use whatever established formula, but then again, we have to be aware on the parameters, on the assumption used in the coding. So that's the good thing about AI. You can predict, forecast in the future. Yes, the prediction and forecast may not be accurate, but at least you have a rough guidance. And with that rough guidance, you come up with the mitigation measures. Because that is the best human being can do. Yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Thank you very much, Professor Malinda. And I think there is still a question for Professor Sikit related with the constraints in the AI implementation in irrigation. The first question comes from Tico. How do you use the system if the plant's planting pattern is changed deliberately by the farmer themselves? Can the AI identify with the conditions, or there should be monitoring done by a human in order to modify AI? And also, I think the next question from Agung related with also with the constraint in the implementation. Many irrigation network in Indonesia have no signals. How to apply Sipasi in areas where there is no signal? Please, Professor Sikit.
Yes, thank you, Pak. Actually, we have Sipasi is under operated by chain operations, human and machines. So what the research under this activities is because now mostly of operators in this irrigation operations in the field is still working on controlling water irrigations. So maybe we can continue their work and their jobs in the operation systems if we already Sipasi as the modernizations of irrigation systems in the field. So I think the future is maybe we can use it. That is what we are thinking is it's very risky to continue Sipasi fully operated by machines. The second one is Sipasi is still We understand that mostly of the irrigation systems in Indonesia is very low in telecommunications facilities. So in some cases, for example, in Tapu-Tapu, we can use Starlink, for example, and then and also LoRa systems. That is all, Pak. My response.
Thank you, Professor Sigit. I think the last question for Professor Ridwan, this is come from Mr. Rahmat Yusuf. AI is widely used by the general public. Whether the use of AI in water resources development is accurate, while climate data is highly variable and always changing. Please, your comment, Professor Ridwan, to this question.
So, important challenge, of course, for urban planning. We can analyze all this situation time. By using the big data, we can also make a simulation about the condition. But however, rather than this costly related with data, also we can also provide other methods like understanding about social and economical condition first to make characteristic can be more understand and to be formulated in more appropriate ways.
Thank you very much for Professor Ridwan for your response, for your comments, and also thank you very much for all the panelists, Professor Chen, Professor Marlinda, Professor Sigit, and also Professor Ridwan for your sharing knowledge and also experience related with AI implementation, especially in water resources management. I think it will be very useful for us in Indonesia to continue the development and also to follow the development in the global level, so that we can also improve our capability and the implementation of AI in the water resources management in Indonesia. May I apologize for the constraints during this session, and also maybe for the inconvenience on my side during in leading this discussion. Once again, thank you very much for the panelists and also for the audience in participating in the international webinar in water resources management. And may I return the time to the MC. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for our moderator, Professor Robertus Wahyudi Triweko. Let's give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And also thank you for the speakers for bringing us to very productive session today. Now there is an announcement from the committee. The certificate from this webinar will be sent by the committee to each participant emails. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, speakers and moderators, we have reached to the end our program. I hope you found the presentation on this webinar are informative and helpful. On behalf of Hati Secretariat, we would like to say thank you for your active participation today and have a great rest of your day. I'm Sandro signing off. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day. Once again, the announcement from the committee, the certificate will be sent by the committee to each participant emails. Thank you.
Thank you.